Well, good afternoon. Gary likes to say good morning, but it's the afternoon.
But it'll be morning when they see it.
I know, but good afternoon. So the fair is over, thank God for that. And about fair time, my grapes always come ripe. This year, I'm lucked out. The birds haven't found them yet. So I have Concord grapes. They're over here. These are really super sweet.
Pretty good pile for a small garden.
Yeah, and I still have the backside to do. They are really good to eat just like this. The only thing is they have seeds in them, but I don't really care. But they are very sweet. Usually it says to wait for them to get a frost, brings the sugar up in them, but I can't because the birds will get them by then.
Yeah, the magpies love these things.
Yeah. They also like my raspberries. So, several years ago, I couldn't, I made wine with them. It's still in my black back closet, just resting. It's been resting for almost 2 years now, so that should be pretty much ready to drink. But I bought this. It comes from Finland. And it's a juicer, and of course the name you can't really read. There it is.
I don't know what you...
It's from Finland.
Steam juicer. I don't know how you pronounce that.
It's made in Finland. And I did research on them, and I found out this one, for the amount of money you pay for it, is actually the best. It's really heavy duty. So what I did, that's the basket you put the fruit into, and then you put it on top of here. And I have a clip for that. So what you do is you put your water in in this part first, and you want to bring it to a boil. And then after you bring it to a boil, you assemble the rest of that and put that on there. And you want it has to constantly boil to create steam. So what I do is after I see some juice, after it starts to boil, I keep checking for the juice. I just take that rubber hose and put it down. And what I'll do is once I see a lot of juice coming, I'll take and undo the stopper on that rubber hose, put a little bit of juice in a cup, and then pour it over the berries and kind of squish the berries down. The process can take up to an hour. It depends upon the berries. Overripe fruit is the best to use, but most of this stuff's pretty ripe. Like I said, the hard thing is if I wait until it gets a bit of frost, usually they're gone by then. The birds really love them, the magpies and stuff. So the pan of water is starting to boil. So I put this thing together. It has a little clamp, and you set it just like that. And see how the steam comes out from there? That's why you got to make sure that the water is boiling, and it keeps boiling. And then here are the grapes. I just washed them off really good and stuff. And then
Stems don't matter?
the stems on these don't matter. Okay. Some berries you do need to remove the stems, but with the grapes it doesn't matter. And they're cleaned. I don't spray them with any chemicals or anything like that. This is the tough part. So I just wash the dirt, and sometimes there's a little bugs in there. You put that on. This is your top. You set that like that, and now all you do is wait. For what it's worth, I do leave a few grapes on the vines that are hard to get to or down low or whatever for the birds.
There you go.
I don't make them starve.
Spoiled, rotten magpies.
And I see the little birds on there too, so yeah, I do leave them some of them. So it's been about an hour, more or less. I'm going to take a cup of it. Go ahead and pour it over it for a second. And this thing acts more like a, I turned it off, so it's off. And then I squish it down. Remember how much was in there? I don't know if you can see it. I mean, it was piled way up to here. And I'll do that. So I've got some containers over here. I'll pour it in here. And then what I'll do is I'll let it cool. And then I just put it in Ziploc bags. And after it cools, and put it in the freezer and freeze it for... It's an unfiltered grape juice, which means it has no sugar or anything. So later on, I can I can make grape jelly, or I can just put it in smoothies, which it's really good that way. So I just take this off. And you don't want to make a mess.
Glad I didn't do that. And there's a lot of juice though.
Yeah. So that's straight grape juice. It doesn't have any, it hasn't been filtered or added water added to it. So it's pretty strong. Well, I still have more grapes, so probably by the time I'm done, I probably have most of this jar full.
You got probably,
Couple cups.
I imagine, a quart now, huh?
Yeah,
What is that jar, a gallon or a little more?
maybe it's a little more, I don't know.
What's left, the bears would love. We'll have to save that for bear bait if we put one out.
Yeah, the chickens like it too. So one time I did try to use this stuff as fruit leather, and it dried just fine, but it didn't have any, it kind of tasted icky.
Didn't have any taste.
Didn't have really any taste, because basically your taste is all steamed out.
It's full of seeds too.
Yeah.
Very neat.
So, probably my next video, if I can get it together, in this crock right here is sauerkraut, or the start of sauerkraut.
Yeah, homemade sauerkraut. It's a lot easier than what I ever imagined it.
So, I checked it today. I have a plate in there to hold it down. When I started, this thing was this full of chopped up cabbage. And it's got a lot of juice. That's what you want to see. And that's what it is. It's only been going for about 3 days. And this is the cabbage that I actually raised myself.
That's out of the garden also?
That's out of the garden also. And I check it every couple days. The reason the plate's in there is to hold it down so it stays in the juice, in the brine, which is basically pickling salt. And I have this on top to keep the bugs out, mostly the flies. A friend of mine's mom and dad made this all the time. This is really funny. So one year they decided to add something different to their sauerkraut. What it was just, you know, some fennel seeds. They figured, put fennel seeds in there and then it'll make it have a good different flavor in it. Well, people wouldn't eat it because they thought they were bugs, but all it was fennel seeds.
They probably were bugs.
And I had some of it, and it was really good and stuff. So word of the wise, you know, if you're gonna make it, don't put fennel seeds in it. I thought it was funny. So if you add water to it, I could probably add half amount of water of what this is to dilute
That would be
it.
concentrated. You could
Yeah.
at least double that, I bet.
Yeah, it's a concentrate right now. But like I said, I let it cool usually, and then I just put it in Ziploc bags, and I put them on a cookie sheet, and then I set them in the freezer. That way they lay flat, and then when they freeze, I take them off of that and put them back in the freezer for easy storage. I think you can can this, but the only way you can do it is with a pressure cooker. Even though I have one, that takes up a lot of space in my pantry and jars. So freezing it is better because I can just lay it flat. And if I want to make jelly or anything like that, I can just pull it out, thaw it out, and make jelly out of it. I have wine that I've made with it, like I said, but it's been sitting for a year and a half, 2 years now. So one of these days I'll have to break it out to see what it tastes like. Hopefully it doesn't taste like vinegar. Put that right there. Let's see,
There's still quite a bit of juice in there.
yeah. And this is what this looks like when you're done. See, it's just got that.
A lot of seeds.
A lot of seeds. This is, like I said, they're Concord grape type. I'm not really sure. For the longest time, Idaho would not allow you to buy or purchase grape plants. I don't know why they had a mandatory amount of them. I didn't really know why. So I just went over the border and got some over the border.
And smuggled them into Idaho.
Smuggled them into Idaho. But now you are allowed to grow grapes in Idaho. And believe it or not, for the longest time you couldn't couldn't plant garlic. So I just went over the border and smuggled some garlic in. But now you can. I'm not quite sure why. And I should know because I was working at a greenhouse then. It had something to do with some fungus. But we never had that problem here, so.
Quite a bit of juice.
So I do highly recommend buying a steamer like this. And you don't have to buy this particular brand. It was just...
It works great for choke cherries and things too.
And it works great too. It has a recipe book in it, and it's not all in Finnish. So you can... it has English chapters in it.
Is that what this is? It comes from Finland?
It's a Finland. It comes from Finland. But it has recipes in it to make steam, like steamed meat and vegetables and stuff. There is a recipe book with it. I use it. I wanted to get it for the making the juice with this and the berries. So, but, yep. And it's, I think I probably got it on Amazon or something like that. But for the price that it is, I think it's a very good buy. It's heavy duty, but you know, you can also use it for other things too. So, well, thank you very much for watching and hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I have some sauerkraut. I will do a video one of these days on making your own sauerkraut, which is actually quite easy. I still have some more grapes. I'll go get those maybe tomorrow or the next day and finish my grape plants up. And this stuff is really nice in the wintertime because you get all the vitamins, and I don't dilute it down. I just do it straight. So, thank you, and have a great rest of your day.